In a classroom setting, assessment works best when its purpose is clearly defined. It is difficult to plan an assessment without a clear purpose. Hence, there are three classifications of assessments and its purpose.
First on the list is the assessment for learning or formative assessment, which allows teachers to monitor students' progress on daily basis. Its purpose is to determine what students learned and still need to know, and guarantees feedback on how teacher can improve lessons, making it more effective. Second is the assessment of learning or the summative assessment. Its purpose is to provide information about students' achievement, and it will be reported as a part of an achievement grade. Examples are midterm and final term examinations. The third assessment is the assessment as learning or self-assessment. Its purpose is to develop and support students' metacognitive skills. Students learn to make sense of information, relate to their prior knowledge, and use it for new learning.
Diving to the specific purpose of assessments, here are 5 forms of classroom assessments depending on the teacher's objective in collecting and evaluating data from the learners.
First is the formative. The conduct of this assessment is to acquire information on the prior knowledge and strengths of the learner to design a better instructional plan. The second is the diagnostic. This is conducted to identify learners' weaknesses and difficulties so the teachers may provide opportunities and interventions. Third is the evaluative assessment. It is conducted to measure learners' performance and achievement and make judgment whether the learner is promoted or not. Fourth is the facilitative assessment. The result of this assessment can be used to improve instructions and learning experiences of the learners. It also improves their own learning strategies. Fifth is the motivational assessment. These assessments serve as a method for the learners to be motivated and engage in learning and achievement in the classroom.
Generally, assessment serves as a method and technique by which teachers can use to determine if the instructions work and the learning targets have been achieved by the students.
Assessments provide diagnostic feedback of what is the student's knowledge base, what are the student's needs, how to improve and expand opportunities for learning. It also evaluates students' performance and achievement. It also provides motivation to engage students on how they are doing and how can they do better.
Therefore, it is very important to align the assessment along with the instruction and the learning targets to be achieved by the students. For the students to be guided on what are they going to learn, how they will learn it, and what are they able to do at the end of a course or a program.
Bloom's taxonomy is an educational framework that classifies learning objectives into different levels of cognitive complexity. It was originally developed by Benjamin Bloom in 1956 and later revised to better reflect modern educational practices. The taxonomy consists of 3 domains: the cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. So first is the cognitive domain. It focuses on intellectual activities and includes 6 levels. First, the knowledge, remembering facts and information. Second, comprehension, understanding and explaining concepts. Third, application, applying knowledge to solve problems or in new situation. Analysis, breaking down complex ideas and examining their components. Fifth, synthesis, creating something new by combining elements in novel ways. Lastly, evaluation, making judgments and decisions based on criteria and evidence. Second is the affective domain. It deals with emotions, attitudes, and values. It aims to develop feelings, beliefs, and attitudes in learners. It includes levels such as receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, and characterizing. The third one is the psychomotor domain. It involves physical skills and manual activities. It relates to development of physical and motor skills with levels like perception, set-guided response, mechanism, complex overt response, adaptation, and origin. Next is the revised Bloom's taxonomy, and it was created in 2001, updating the original framework to better align with modern educational practices. And it consists 6 levels. First, remembering. Number 2, understanding. Number 3, applying. Number 4, analyzing. Number 5, evaluating. And lastly, creating. The Bloom's taxonomy and the revised taxonomy places greater emphasis on creativity and critical thinking, making it a valuable tool for educator to design effective learning objectives and assessments that address a wide range of cognitive skills.
Learning objectives. These are the statement that describes what students or learners are able to develop as the time they finish a particular course. This may include the cognitive, psychomotor, and affective aspects of learning. The most popular educational objectives is the Bloom's Taxonomy of Educational Objectives, and it was revised by Anderson and Cratwell, changing noun to verbs, and it also have 6 levels of expertise.
Example of a revised learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students can be able to describe what is earthquake and its components, classify the different factors responsible in producing earthquake,
show and act real-life situations or calamities associated with earthquake,
analyze how these calamities could be life-threatening to humans, investigate the instrument and apparatus used to measure an earthquake, create a strategic plan ensuring safety and risk reduction before, during, and after an earthquake.
To avoid confusion of terms, De Guzman and Adamos wrote the definition that learning objectives, learning outcomes, as well as the learning targets are similar to each other.